All right, guys, welcome to the SEO call. Today, we're going to be covering how to repurpose some blogs so you can utilize those posts for your Google business profile. So there's a little bit of a hack where you can actually use the content that you have on your website to then post on your GBP. So right now, we've been pushing a lot on the Google business profile just because there is a lot of opportunity there. Most of the traffic is going to ads, then come flowing down to the map pack, which is your GBP profile, and then going to organics, right? So a lot of it gets flushed out through that process. So what we want to do is make sure that we have enough activity happening. So when we run an advanced SEO campaign, you guys will notice when we actually do the reports, a lot of stuff is just a lot of activity. That's basically what we're doing. Google wants to see who's still live, who exists. I know with Kim, we were looking at that the other day. And what we want to make sure is that that activity doesn't fall, in regards to what Google's used to seeing for that brand. And then the other thing is, if you do have a lot of activity going on and then it stops, it doesn't necessarily mean that you'll lose your spot. Basically, what that means is it gives another company an opportunity to then fill that gap, right? So if you stop and someone was right on your heels and they continue that activity, in a couple of weeks you'll see them pass you. But again, if you kind of keep some kind of activity, then you should be okay. And that's what we're going to talk about today, because there's some quick wins that you guys can do that are super simple, and it'll help you kind of keep those spots and actually continue to grow. Because believe it or not, your competition sometimes has some months that their team is doing a lot of activity, so they tend to stick at the top, and then they fall, right? Maybe they're focusing on something else, they stop posting stuff. That's where the gap comes in, and you have an opportunity to kind of work yourself into those spots there as well. So let's go ahead. We're going to be looking at a couple samples. The first one we're going to look at is going to be Onyx Homes. I want to look at a couple of their blogs and just kind of take it. If I was Kim and Jean, what would I do if I was looking for opportunities to post on my Google business profile, right? That's basically going to be the question that we're trying to solve right now. It's like, what are the quick wins? And we're not looking for anything specific in regards to, hey, we're going to take a long time. We're assuming, like, realistic, like you guys are entrepreneurs, you're busy, you have other things going on. What's the quickest way I can get this activity to happen, right? So let me go ahead and share my screen. All right, so we got it right here. So the first thing is, if we're looking for activity here and we're looking for really kind of get dialed in, I'm Kim, I'm Jean, I'm sitting here, we're talking, we're saying, all right, what are we going to do? First thing that you guys should be doing is just go ahead and go to your blog. Easy wins. Go to the first blog. We'll even go with the first one we see. I haven't actually looked at this, so I'm pretty much approaching this exactly how they would. So if we're going here, I think we just added another person to the call. Perfect. So if I'm here, why going with a cash home buyer is a good option in Chicago, Illinois. Perfect. Right there is a great post. So what I can do is take that, literally that title, and what I wanted to do for you guys, assuming that maybe you're not a part of our upper level packages, or you want to do some extra activity. I know, Mickey, this is a great one for you guys, right? Because you've been doing a lot of your guys' own stuff. So what you want to be doing, you need images, right? You need images. I keep kind of pushing as well. Use your own images. That's great. But again, in this particular training, this is a quick fix. So if you're looking for free images that you can use for these posts, I'm going to give you two websites. Okay, there's a lot more, but I'm going to give you two that I used to use. I don't use them anymore because we have a premium membership at, and I'll even give you the one we use. Itself, what is it? Photo Depot that we're using now? I think she's on there. Well, we'll bring that one up because I want to show you guys the paid version.
Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, that's the one that we're the most recent one that we're using.
Can you put the link right into chat right here? I'm going to show them the free versions, and then I can actually look at the other one, the paid version, so they can have some options. So
Oh, no,
this right
no,
here,
it's deposit photo, isn't it? No.
deposit photo. I kept
Yeah,
saying photo deep. Yeah, deposit
yeah.
photo.
It was like close. Yeah, let me drop the link.
Deposit photo. There it is. So this is the paid one that we use, but we're going to go here. So Pixabay, super popular. A lot of you guys probably used it as well, but Pixabay is 100% free. You can use any of these images. They have some good options. And then the other one, Unsplash, is one that you see a lot when you look up on Google. Is free images, royalty-free images. This is another really good platform. Unfortunately, just kind of give you the unfortunate part of things is that most of these images, since they are free, royalty-free images that everybody can use, they're all over the internet, right? So what I recommend is getting an account, even a free account with Canva, so canva.com, and doing some kind of overlay, even it's a super simple overlay, putting your logo on it, putting your phone number on it. And then what you want to be doing is, again, going back to Onyx Homes here and just putting this verbiage right on top of the image. So you can see right now we have an overlay behind this image, right? I don't know if you guys can see it because it's pretty dark, but it's some hands with some cash, and then someone giving some keys. This right here can essentially be Kim's featured image. If she really wanted to, she can actually just use this image right here. Or she can go to Pixabay or Unsplash and find something similar, just so she follows the trend here, and do that. And then you'd put this overlay. Now, you have on a post, you're going to have a title, and you just need a little bit of 1 or 2 sentences for the actual snippet or kind of like the description. Recommendation right here. Go to your first paragraph. I would actually analyze the first 2 paragraphs, because a lot of times we put 1 or 2 paragraphs within those blogs in the first part. Grab 1 or 2 of those sentences that's in there. If you have time, rewrite it in your own words, not necessarily your own words, but just rewrite it so it sounds a little different. That's about it. Doesn't have to be completely unique. And that's it. You take that, and then what I would focus on is the call to action. So I'm actually going to open up our Google Business Profiles. I'm going to go to Onyx Home so we can look at that one directly. And
you
how
fucking idiot, dumbass.
Whoops. Let me see here. Onyx. Here we go.
Sorry, Roger. I didn't know I wasn't muted.
No, you're fine.
Hi, Terry.
We'll edit that part out.
My bad.
Raw footage. No, you're good. All right. So now that we're on the business profile here for Onyx, now she would take this information, go ahead and go to post. And then I get this question quite a bit. Some of you guys know this, some of you guys don't, right? Which option do you use for your normal post? Something for this example, if you're going to be using your blog, just use basically the what's new would be probably the best option. It's basically just giving an update. That's all you're doing, giving an update. So you can write about just about anything. Okay. So when you're here, this little bubble that's right here is the one you click to generate a post. Okay, so I'm going to click that and you kind of see this. So you're here, the what's new, you get to put your image, right? You upload the image, whatever image you're going to use, and that image should already be kind of ready to go in regards to the verbiage on the image, the logo, maybe the phone number if you think that's appropriate. Do that, and then you write your post right in here. Okay, and it looks thin, but it can be pretty long there. Now, what you want to do is we're not going to put links in the content. I just don't want you guys risking. Sometimes we put links in there just because if it gets rejected, we can just repost, right? So we're kind of playing with how many links we can get away with. But for you guys, what I would recommend is just put your verbiage in here. So there isn't a place for a title or like the body. So you're assuming, right? You're assuming that the first sentence you put in here is going to be your title, is how you're writing this. Then give it a little bit of some room. Just kind of hit enter and then put your paragraph, your 2 sentences that you chose. Now, once you have that verbiage in there, then you need to create a call to action. This is how you're creating your backlink. So you're going to do your learn more, and then you'll be allowed to put a link here. So if I'm Kim, I would probably go here. And if I wanted to, if I'm promoting this title and I'm 100%, she has 2 options here. She can either have a backlink to this post, right? Or she can do a backlink to her Chicago page. That's really up to her. If she's going to have a lot of activity, if she has a campaign, her own campaign where she's like, I'm going to be posting 4 to 5 times a week, and I have a lot of stuff, then I mix it up. If I'm talking about Chicago, I'm not always going to point to the Chicago page. I'm sometimes going to point directly to the blog where I took my information from, or, even the homepage. You can even point to the homepage. You can mix it up, right? But if you're only going to be posting a couple times a month, then I would recommend to point directly to your city page. And the reason I say this, because that's the one you want to rank, right? That's the one you want to really gain that footprint around. But the more activity, can't stress enough, the more activity, the better. But when you do have more activity, then you have to get creative. You have to point to different places so it looks natural. Okay. So that's the first part. That's just the beginning, because that's only 1 post. So how do we get multiple posts for our GBP off of a blog? So we took the main title, boom, and we took maybe 2 sentences out of the first part. Then, so if we look at why going with the cash buyer is good as a good option in Chicago, Illinois, right? And then you answer that question and redirect. Then you go here, sell your house fast in Chicago, right? Then you go here, avoid deals that don't push through. That's another post. Literally take the point that I'm making here, take every single section and make it a post. Use this as your verbiage, your title for that post. And then all you're doing is taking a couple sentences out of what we wrote here and using that as your verbiage. Okay. It's as simple as that. And you can stay very, very busy. Let's say maybe you're not writing any more blogs. I'll use Mickey in this case. I'm not sure if you guys are still posting consistently on Atkins, right? Atkins developers. But if you're not, you can always go back. So I'll bring over your guys' website real quick. Got it here.
My GBP is still blocked, Roger.
It's still blocked?
Yes, a little bit like Marie. I think I missed, it was, so we changed the address to Baltimore, one of our rental, and then something happened. We didn't get the first postcard. I think it was lost. Then I asked for a second one. Now I'm at my 4th one.
Oh, wow. How is it? Have you been able to kind of communicate through email with them at all? Is there any type of dialogue happening there?
No.
Okay.
I mean, they're still offering me the option of sending a postcard verification. So I click yes again.
But it's not getting to your place. Is that basically what's happening?
That's what I'm thinking, because every time that Aisa goes there isn't a postcard.
Got it. All right, that's going to be that's a problem. Now, is that property where you guys are trying to verify? Is that something you guys currently own? Kind of like I guess I'll start there. Yeah. Now, is it under construction, or is it something that's almost finished, or maybe a rental?
We're actually having the tenant in it right now today. The tenant's moving in.
Got it. Okay, I was going to say maybe you can do the video verification, but someone's already in there. So that's going to be probably hard to do. All right.
I mean, I have the video for like the marketing of that unit.
Do you have raw video where you're just kind of walking around, maybe showing some of the area?
Aisa just did a live Facebook of it before the tenant went in.
Okay. Because something that you can do is get creative and do kind of like a video where you're saying, a part of it, you guys are good with video. So you can do a part of it where you're like, hey, we're going to go show you our office, and then cut it right there and then show just a walkthrough of the inside of the house. And then that's it. Right. And see if that kind of flies. Because right now it's going to be kind of hard to get in there and just do like a room.
Yes.
That's basically what you wanted to do, a room in the outside.
It's going to be hard.
I guess the easiest part is to request it again, try it. And if it's not, we're going to have to probably maybe think of a different solution for that. Because
Yeah.
that's you're not having the same. I don't think it's the same problem as Marie, because Marie, basically the property they have wasn't getting mail at all. Is that correct, Marie? That was like a property that was not getting mail at all for many years. And now
Yeah.
they reinstated as a, live property. They're starting to work on it. And now it's getting there. But yours was active, right? Mickey?
It was,
Yours is like
yeah.
a regular property getting mail. So I would request it one more time. Just keep an eye on it, because it sounds like everything's good. It might just be getting missed. I would recheck the address and even take the address, put it into Google Maps, and make sure your PIN is in the right place. We actually
Okay.
had our own REI toolbox address putting our PIN in the wrong place. So if someone were to actually look it up and go there, they would end up across the street. So that you might want to check that as well.
Okay. I will check that. Thank you.
Okay. So if I'm coming over here and I'm looking at Mickey's blogs here, what the point that I wanted to make here is someone that hasn't posted in a while, maybe, you're just, but you want activity on your Google business profile, right? And you're like, well, I don't have time to start creating new content and do it. Go backwards. Go. I mean, you can go as far as you want and stay. I mean, you guys have a lot going on here in regards to what you've posted. So someone like that can have still a lot of stuff going on in regards to ideas for post, right? So don't think it has to be the new post that you have to worry about. You can go back and take care of all the stuff that you've done in the past. Someone like Eric and Terry, that they're just starting to kind of get things going, some posts there. Eric can actually go back into the history of the blog and do the same thing here. And little tip for Eric, since he's the one doing the technical portion of this, I'm just going to check Ignite real quick. I want to see what is happening on the back end.
The only thing I can see with this is they're more focused. Terry's more focused on Carlsbad instead of Oceanside. So should I just switch up the title to Carlsbad?
Switch up. Great question. And then the other thing is, I'm glad you brought that up because, go ahead.
Is there a way to do both, or we have to really, because really I think to stay focused on Oceanside, to be honest.
Up to you. You guys can do a mix. You have so much content that you can do a couple, say you had a campaign of 3 posts a week, for example. One of them should be for San Diego. One of them should be for Oceanside. The other one for Carlsbad. And you just
that'll make it easier for me too, because it's hard coming up for content just for Carlsbad.
And look at this right here, guys. You can literally take this one. Should I sell to a real estate agent or cash home buyer in Oceanside? So this one right here, you can just literally take the Oceanside, take 2 sentences. Then you go ahead or sell with the real estate agent. Basically what you want to say in Carlsbad. This is Oceanside, right? In Carlsbad. And then I would probably switch it up, go to another blog, and then do San Diego. And just, if you're gonna, because remember the list of cities that we kind of narrowed it down to in your guys' kind of area, make a list of that. And as many of those cities that you have on your list, say there's 4, I can't remember how many you actually had. Say there's 4, then you should have 4 posts a week. That way you can kind of recycle them. And I know you guys are now getting into kind of your avatar and everything like that. If your historical kind of like blogs that you're doing don't talk about that particular avatar, doesn't matter. We're talking about activity right now. So in the future, you can start building, stuff for the actual avatar that you guys are going after. But what I would do, I would focus on what you have and just get it out there, get it posted. That way you have some kind of activity happening on your GBP. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. Thank you.
And then don't even, I wouldn't spend too much time. I know, Eric, you use Canva quite a bit. So I wouldn't wait for any, local pictures or anything like that. I rather see the activity than that. And then as you post new stuff in the future, you and Terry can coordinate, make sure you have a folder with local pictures that you're taking, and then you can utilize those for your future posts. But right now it's all about getting in there. I know I had this conversation with Kim. It's like, it's better to have activity than try to make them perfect, right? And then as you go through this process, you'll get really good. And what you want to do is have a set campaign. That's what we do with Accelerated Dominant. Once you have a set campaign, regardless of what it is, as long as it's consistent. And then again, your competition is doing the same thing in most cases, in some cases, we're waiting for that gap. As soon as they stop and we stay consistent, boom, we enter because we already primed up our activity. And that's the whole point. You're not going to shoot up in many markets. Doing this activity is not going to get you to number one right away. What's going to happen is going to keep you there. Google's going to know that you're there. And as soon as the competition drops their activity and you're still there, you'll get put to the top. And that's what we're looking for, those opportunities to get you in. Does that make sense?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And I think, I mean, San Diego, Oceanside, Carlsbad, you guys are in competitive markets. So you have to, I mean, I would recommend if you guys can, 4 to 5 posts a week. That way you guys can start kind of moving the needle a little faster.
Yeah, I've been
more than that.
consistently posting every day. So except for the weekend, so 5 days. I've already been doing 5 days.
Okay,
Yeah.
Good.
I just got to switch up the cities because I thought we were focusing on Carlsbad. But now that I'm looking at his blogs, it looks like it's Oceanside. So we'll just switch them all up.
Yeah. And remember, one of the things that I'll point out for everybody is where it really matters on, and you always want to kind of focus on the different cities and neighborhoods and things like that. But you also want to stay, you want to be aware of the address on your Google business profile, right? So we just got access, I think, to, well, I'll use Onyx Homes. Buffalo Grove, right? So we got Buffalo Grove. I know we're with this particular campaign, we focus on Buffalo Grove and we focus on Chicago. For Eric and Terry, let me see if I have, I'm going to refresh here because I think we just got access to their stuff. You gave us access, right? Right.
Right.
Eric?
Yeah. I sent that over.
Should go into marketing. Let's see if I have Ignite in here. Ignite. There you go. Just want to see what address you guys have. So you got a Carlsbad address. Okay. So since you guys are just kind of getting going, I haven't seen everything that you've done so far, Eric, but what you really want to be conscious of is you want to make sure that you're owning this spot, right? The Carlsbad spot, because that's the easiest one you're going to, this is the easy win because that's what your address is. All the harder ones are going to be San Diego, Oceanside and everything around there. It's going to be a little harder because that's not the address, but you can win those areas, assuming the proximity of the person that's looking for it is within that area. But you do want, I don't want to give percentages. I'll just put it this way. Rule of thumb, you want a couple more Carlsbad posts than you want of the other cities.
Okay.
Just because that's the main address that you have on here. If you are one of those that are not showing your area in regards to your address, then it's already a little harder for you because you don't have a physical address. So I usually recommend just kind of pick whatever your top cities are and make sure you're mentioning all of them.
Okay.
Right. Okay. Let me go back to Kim's post here. So I want to see if there's any, because this is a pretty simple process. I don't want to complicate this too much. But is there any questions on this process? How can you get multiple posts off of one blog? We'll kind of go from there. Was it pretty clear in regards to do that?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And then the two, if you guys remember, just the two image platforms that I showed you, Pixabay and Unsplash. I'll show those real quick because those are going to be really important for you guys to have somewhere in your resources. There's Unsplash right here, 100% free, and Pixabay, also 100% free. And if you wanted to go with the paid platform, this is what we have. We have like 2 or 3 different platforms, but this is the main one that we see, we get more relevant. If we're going to use stock images, we tend to be able to get a lot of images from here, deposit photos. And then the other one that I would also recommend if you are considering kind of a lot of stock images and you're willing to pay a little bit of money is get the premium version of Canva. Our team gets great pictures from the Canva archive. They have a great library in there as well. So if you are going to be paying, going to be doing some of this stuff, then that's another one that I would probably recommend as well. Okay. All right, guys, I am going to stop the recording here.